Do you think you can handle living in and around Baltimore, Maryland? Well, think again, because today we have the 6 reasons why you might not survive living here in Baltimore. I'm Mike Mislinski.
And I'm Kelly Schuett, and today we're going to talk about 6 reasons why you might hate living here. Before we dive in, make sure you hit subscribe, like, send this to all your friends, and follow us for more videos about living and moving in and around Baltimore.
The first reason that we have on the list is it's completely surrounded by water, sort of. You have the Chesapeake Bay, you have the Patapsco River, and most famously, the Inner Harbor.
You're also just a quick drive from the ocean. Most areas that we work and live in are within a 2 to 3 hour drive of Ocean City, Bethany Beach, and Rehoboth.
And not to forget, on the western side of Maryland, we have Deep Creek Lake and things like that. So pretty much you have water access available to you within a 2-hour drive.
You will literally be forced to enjoy the water lifestyle in Maryland because everyone is obsessed with it. So from scenic cruises to people owning boats to your friends inviting them out on weekends to maybe having to paddleboard or even enjoy the 60 miles of waterfront promenade, you might have to go for a walk or a run along the water.
And if you do, make sure you check out our video on the surrounding neighborhoods, whether it be Canton, Fells Point, or Federal Hill, so you can get an idea of that actual jog that we have available to you.
Yeah, we have a whole video on our favorite runs because Mike and I both like to run, and we feature that promenade. We like it here because we like to run and we like water, but if you do not like those 2 things, this might not be the area for you. If you do like it and you're interested in what these waterfront properties look like, the cost, what neighborhoods to be searching for, text Harbor, and we will send you all of our exclusive waterfront listings.
All right, number 2 on the list is our food scene, and it's absolutely going to ruin your life because you're going to be spending countless nights out at all the things we have to offer, and especially the crab cakes here in Maryland. Maryland is known for our crab cakes and our football, of course, but the dining and the food scene is so underrated here, you will never believe it.
Crab cakes aren't cheap, so if you want to spend all of your money on great food and become a foodie, this is a great town for you. But if you are not into the food scene and you hate Old Bay and you hate crabs and you hate amazing seafood, this is not the town for you. Thinking about relocating to Baltimore? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it all down below.
From top employers to best hospitals and a boatload of other things, all the stuff you'll need to know before making the move to in and around Baltimore. The best part, this guide is entirely free. Just click the link in the description at the top pinned comment. Hope this helps.
Reason number 3, you hate America.
So if you don't like visiting things such as Fort McHenry, where the Star Spangled Banner was written, then you're probably not going to like to live here.
There's so much history in Baltimore. It was one of the biggest ports and one of the biggest cities when America was founded, and you can still see so much of that history, whether it's in homes. Some of the houses that we sell in some of the most prominent neighborhoods were built in the 1800s, some even earlier than that. There's really cool museums and walks and history tours and boats that you can tour, museums you can go to. All of this is in the city, and it's a huge part of the tapestry of the neighborhoods and something that's very prominent. So if you're not a big history buff, you don't like learning about America and how it all started, this might not be the town for you.
And not to mention, Edgar Allan Poe is actually buried here right in the city as well.
He lived here, he wrote a lot of his big works here, and there's a lot of different things that relate back to that and a lot of plays on that. A lot of people talk about it. There's bars named after him, restaurants, even our mascot at the Ravens. If hating America wasn't enough for you, you might also hate diversity. There's a ton of diversity in Baltimore. This is a very eclectic area. So all of the neighborhoods have totally different vibes. There's a lot of different options within each neighborhood. You'll get everything from hipster vibes to historic charm to family friendly to pet friendly, all in the same ecosystem. So if you don't like that and you're looking for a very cookie cutter existence, Baltimore is not going to be somewhere you're going to enjoy living in.
But really, probably the best thing about it is that Each neighborhood has its own personality. So whether you're looking for something maybe that's brand new, it's, completely, you're on the ground floor of building the community, such as the Baltimore Peninsula area, or you want to go into the water side in Fells Point and be right on the water and all the cobblestone that comes along with living in and around Fells Point. There's so much to offer, and all of these different neighborhoods give you something a little bit different and different price points as well.
And the thing that we get a lot of complaints about is you could spend years exploring even a couple of these neighborhoods and not see it all. There's so much going on. Each one has its own local shops and vendors and restaurants, and they have their own community events and neighborhoods. So you could spend a lot of time exploring even one or two of these and not get to the end of it.
If you don't like working and you don't want a really good and prominent job, then Baltimore is definitely not the place for you, because Baltimore is home to some of the biggest corporations and institutions in the entire United States. Number one being probably the most famous, every generation and age group, is Under Armour. Under Armour just rebuilt their global headquarters here right on the Baltimore Peninsula. It's a huge facility. Be sure to check out our video on Lock Landing, where I go through some of the neighborhoods over there as well as the entire Under Armour facility. And then, not to be forgotten, is Johns Hopkins University. Everybody knows Johns Hopkins for their work in the health field and all of the research that is done there, amongst others.
There's a booming tech scene. We've already talked about the booming foodie scene. There is something for everybody in terms of job opportunity here in Baltimore. So if you don't like working and you don't like having successful friends who talk about their jobs, this is probably not a good fit for you. Hey guys, it's Kelly. I'm here with Mike as well. And as much as I love making these videos, there's one thing I love even more, and that's helping families and people from all across the country make a move here to Baltimore. I moved here about 20 years ago and I've never looked back. I love helping countless families make the move as well. So whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen, and I've linked the description in case you missed the on-screen pop-up. Look forward to helping you and your family make the move to Baltimore. Last, the cost of living is going to shock you. In fact, coming from other major cities, you are gonna be so surprised by how affordable Baltimore is to live in that you might find yourself overpaying for some things. You might just think, oh my gosh, this is so cheap, I'm just gonna spend more than I need to, which, when we're talking about housing, we will definitely help you reel in your expectations, because what you get for your money here is so much more than you're gonna see in other major metro cities. So we'll make sure that you're not overspending because you're used to paying, double, triple the price of homes here in Baltimore.
To that point, a lot of people that work in DC actually live in Baltimore because of the access that we have to DC. So we have the train that a lot of people take and just go right down to DC. Because it just gives them a better quality of life with that affordability that we have here to offer, as opposed to living in DC, where everything under the sun is extremely expensive.
We also have a lot of investors who buy in Baltimore who don't even live here because it's such an affordable city to own real estate in. And that's one of the reasons we love working here in the real estate industry. But we do caution people who are coming from other areas just how affordable this truly is, even compared to Annapolis or DC, which are right around the corner, or Philly, which is right up the street. So if you don't like working, being athletic, eating great food, having great jobs, and an affordable lifestyle, stick with another major city.
Obviously, Baltimore has a lot of challenges, just like every other city, but these challenges are probably the ones you're going to actually fall in love with.
Are you ready to take on the challenge of living in Baltimore? We'd be happy to talk and explain all of the reasons why we really, truly love living here. And if you have any questions about any of the neighborhoods we talked about or any of the opportunities here in and around Baltimore, text or call us anytime. We are always talking to people just like you who are exploring the idea of moving here or moving in and around the area if they're already in the area. So we are always available to talk.